Okay, so let's finish off this problem, and then that will be it for this chapter. So we figured out that we have two have the angles of the triangle, and we have the resultant force, and we're looking for the larger applied force, and I think that's probably going to be X. But just to be sure, we want to just make sure by solving for both of them. So I can also figure out what this third angle is by just doing 47 plus 56 is 103, so 180 minus 103 gives me 177. Oh, I'm sorry, 77. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. And then let's do law of sines to figure out what these angles are equal to. So I can use the law of sines on both of these to solve for x and to solve for y. So if I'm solving for x first, I'm going to use this information. So sine of 73.4 divided by 77 is equal to, and then I'm going to solve for x, sine of 56, because that's the angle that's across from it, divided by x. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing over here to solve for y. So sine of 73.4 over 77 is equal to sine of 47 over y. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and solve for both of those. So in my calculator, cross multiply, so 77 times the sine of 56, hit enter, and then I'm going to divide by the sine of 73.4. So x is 66.612, and it wants it to the nearest tenth, so 66.6. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that that's the biggest one, but just to be sure, let's just solve for y as well. So y is, and then I'm going to cross multiply, 77 times the sine of 47, and then I'm going to divide by the sine of 73.4. Like I said, if you don't know where I'm getting these from, you can always just write out the cross multiplication and then get the y by itself, and then you'll see why I'm doing what I'm doing. So y is 58.76 to the 10th is 58.8. So we were right. X was the biggest one, so this is going to be your final answer. 66.6, and I think that was in terms of pounds. Okay? Not too bad. Now that you know all of these kind of little tricks about a parallelogram, it won't be too hard to solve these kinds of questions in the future. The only last thing that I want to remind you about, which I already told you at the beginning of this video, is that in a parallelogram, the resultant force does not bisect the angle. So that means that this angle right here is different from this angle right here. And then we know that alternate interior angle, so we know that that's equal to that, and this is equal to that, and all that fun stuff. But, however, if you draw a rhombus, and the only difference between a parallelogram and a rhombus is that the sides are equal to each other, so it looks more like that. It's pretty much a square tilted on its side versus a rectangle tilted on its side. So if you have a rhombus, then the resultant force that goes down the middle actually cuts that angle right in half. So this angle is equal to that angle, and that angle is equal to that angle, and then you can always figure out what that last angle is because it's supplementary, meaning that this angle and that whole angle add up to 180 degrees. And that is equal to that, and that's equal to that. Okay? So if you remember that, then hopefully these kinds of questions won't be too hard for you at all. Workbook page 482 to 483. I believe this is homework number 104, but you have the final list written out on something that I sent you home. So just double check that, and I need you to get all those homework assignments done, and then show how to enter degrees and minutes for number 5. And we've done that before, but apparently on your homework, instead of just saying that this angle is like 102 degrees, apparently, excuse me, apparently it has degrees and minutes. So if you have to enter something in, say if that's 100 degrees, you go to second apps, because it says angle right above apps. Second apps, that's the degree symbol. And then, I don't know, say it's 30 minutes. Second apps again. And then second line down, that is the symbol for minutes. And then hit enter, and it's 100.5 degrees. So if that's what you need to do on the homework to punch it in degrees and minutes, then that is how you do that. Okay? So that is it for chapter 14. Yep, that's it for chapter 14. We are completely done with that, and there's only 2 more chapters left. So I'm going to start those videos for you right now, and then as soon as you're comfortable with this material, you can take that test. Okay?